A lot of people think they are on the self-improvement path, but they're not. Because there's a door that you haven't walked through yet. A door that you know is there. It's in the back of your mind, always shouting at you. And instead of actually opening that door, you circle around it. You read another book, you watch another podcast, and work on things that feel like it's productive. But these things don't actually move you forward. You know at the back of your mind, the only thing that would actually move you forward is action. Here's the reason why most people never actually walk through that door. The self-improvement world makes walking in circles feel like progress. It feeds you small wins, little dopamine hits, so you stay hooked on fixing problems that you don't really have, while avoiding the one thing that actually matters most. Because deep down, you know what's behind that door. It's an unknown journey. A journey that you cannot control. One that will demand everything from you. And that is what's really terrifying. That's why we do not walk through this door that we know we need to walk through. I know this because I've avoided that door before. My first real taste wasn't even about self-improvement. It was in 8th grade with a guitar. In 8th grade, I wanted to play guitar so bad. I imagined myself shredding solos on stage. And one day, I really just wanted this guitar. So my mom, she bought me a guitar so that I can actually learn how to play guitar and eventually start shredding these solos out. And she also bought me some beginner lessons so I can learn how to actually play this guitar. But on the first day, when I got the guitar and I got the actual lessons that was on a website to actually learn from and practice on, I skipped the lessons. I went straight to YouTube and tried to find the hardest techniques I could find, like tapping, speed licks, and sweep picking and stuff like that. And on the first day, I could see how awful I was. Of course I was awful. I've never even touched a guitar before. And when I saw that I couldn't do these hard techniques, I gave up. And I didn't give up because I thought playing guitar was impossible. I gave up because I didn't want to see myself as a beginner. Looking back, I wasn't willing to accept where I was. I wanted to appear advanced without actually becoming advanced. And that mindset, that's exactly what ruins growth for most people. This is the pattern that most people fall into. They see their weaknesses, they do not like their weaknesses, and they judge themselves for not being perfect. You may do this too. They try to skip the beginning, which is the most important part, and rush to the results. But when you don't approach growth from humility, you don't actually build the strength that you need to develop these essential skills. You build an inner voice that tells you that you're behind, which doesn't actually help. It just paralyzes you from the growth and the work that you need to do, because you're chasing perfection instead of accepting reality. Listen, every person who becomes successful learns to accept the harsh reality. They aren't skilled enough yet to achieve what they want. They accept this reality not as a form of defeat, but as a foundation to build upon. For example, in high school, Michael Jordan was actually cut from the varsity basketball team because his skills weren't developed enough yet. Instead of quitting, he accepted them. He trained his skills. And then eventually he became one of the best basketball players ever. When Elon Musk started SpaceX, he admitted that he didn't have the engineering knowledge he needed. So he learned the rocket science from scratch so that he could actually effectively run his company. You might have seen the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. Chris Gardner, who was the main character in that movie, he was homeless and he was a single father when he actually landed an unpaid internship at a brokerage firm. He had to compete with these Ivy League graduates who were 4 years ahead of him and actually had certified academic knowledge. He realized this and he accepted the truth. He wasn't skilled enough yet, but he could be. He had to be. Every night, after finding a place to stay for his son where they could sleep, he would study. He would study finance and sales until it was ingrained in his brain. And by the end of the program and by the end of the internship, he wasn't just the best in his class. He earned a full-time job and became a millionaire and inspired the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. So here's the mental shift that basically changed a lot for me. Self-improvement isn't about escaping your weakness. It's about accepting it and building upon it. Your weaknesses aren't the ceiling that holds you down, but it's the floor that you actually build upon. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means being honest about where you actually are so you can actually improve. Without acceptance, you're working wrong because you literally can't improve when you won't accept the weaknesses that you have. Now, there's a difference between weaknesses that you can work on and things that you'll never be able to change. If you can't change something, why waste energy worrying about your height, your past, the family you're born into? These aren't weaknesses. They're just facts. And these facts stop becoming weapons once you start actually accepting them. If you're short, you can't get taller, but what you can do is get six-pack abs, get 18-inch biceps. You can become so physically and mentally sharp that when you walk into a room, no one even cares about your height, because what they see is that you focus on what you could change and you actually changed it. So stop worrying about what's already fixed. Just start working on the things that are flexible. Let me give this to you logically. Every structure starts with the foundation. Weaknesses are your starting point. If you pretend that they aren't there, the foundation cracks. The strongest people didn't start from pride. They started from honesty, humility. So instead of trying to look perfect, just start from reality. Admit to yourself, here's where I'm at. This is what I'm stuck on, and this is what I'm working on right now. That's what it means to actually. Now here's the real test of strength. Anyone can pretend to be strong, but the real strength is walking through the world with your head high, even when you know you're not perfect. Next time you go out anywhere, instead of feeling, oh, these people are looking at me, they can see right through my weaknesses, just walk and put your chest out. Just walk and accept your weaknesses. Hold yourself high, even when you know you have all these weaknesses, because that's where the improvement comes from. Walking with your weaknesses, admitting that you have flaws, that you have weaknesses, but not hiding, because that's bravery. It's not about becoming some robot who's finally enough, but it's about becoming a human who actually owns the process of improvement. If you're not able to do something, you're just early. You're at the beginning of an amazing journey to become who you are. Your weaknesses show you where your highest self is. And the moment that you accept that, that's when the real work begins. Start where you are, instead of starting where someone else is, even though they're 5 years ahead of you. Master the basic, build slowly, brick by brick, and that's how you actually grow. Listen, all power is working with you, and all power cannot fail. Power is at your service, and to make each act efficient, each behavior efficient, all you have to do is put power into it. Now, I want to take you through a quick self-check. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I want you to answer them honestly, without overthinking them. If you do this right, you'll see exactly where you are right now and where you need to grow next. So the first question that you need to journal about and think about, what is one skill or goal you've been avoiding because you do not feel ready yet? The second is, what's the real reason why you haven't started? And be brutally honest with yourself. And then the third one, what's something that you pretend to be good at, but deep down you know you're struggling with? Number 4, if you accept this weakness, what's the very first step you could take to actually improve? And then number 5, how would your life look like in 6 months if you worked on this every single day? Don't just think about these. Actually get them out of your head and write them on paper. Because once you see your starting point, you have all the power to actually change it. But as far as that's all for this video. I hope you found this useful. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.